I mean, the great thing about being a Gen Xer, like, well, you guys are Gen
Yeah.
Xers,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
was at the very end of Gen X, okay? And it was great because, like, what was awesome about growing up, and we didn't realize it at the time, is that when we were young, and I know we're sounding like an old man and everything talking about
don't
stuff,
don't worry, we go that
but
way a lot here.
no, but think about it right now. All the kids today, they all were like, "Oh, how did you guys survive without like cell phones and technology and stuff?" And I said, "It was a great time because you had to be a complete idiot to get caught doing anything bad
Yeah.
by like your parents, because now they can geotag you, they can look at where you're at, they can call you at any minute." The first thing that I ever had that my parents could get a hold, I had a beeper.
I had
a
one too. Yeah.
goddamn beeper. And my mom would give me $1 worth of quarters and said, "If I beep you, you better call me within a couple of minutes."
That's awesome.
And then you had to try to find a payphone. Like, if you weren't close to one, that could be a pain.
Yeah.
Oh, they were everywhere back then. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Man, there was a thing that I used to do in high school that it was so I got my when I bought my first car, 'cause, I mean, in Tud knows, I worked for, in the car dealerships. My dad, worked in them since I was born. So I bought my first car and it came with a free cell phone because the dealership
Now,
had
was it the one that was directly plugged into the car?
No,
or like it was the
no,
one that
it was
hardwired in
one of those big brick ones. And
okay.
and
It
the
was like the bag phone, like you were in Vietnam and you
Oh,
had
Yeah.
like,
I missed the bag phone. My uncle was a city planner. He always made pretty good money, even back, I want to say 89, 90, you know what I mean? So he had the actual pack phone, the Ericsson, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, you had basically half a briefcase.
That's great.
And that was just the battery, if I'm not right. Wasn't
I don't
that
know.
mostly battery?
I don't know.
It was mostly battery. Plus, it had that pigtail like cord that
Yup.
went down to the battery and stuff.
Even
And
though it was
then,
cordless, it
like-
had a cord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. And do you remember back in the day where like the cell phones, you actually had to pull the antenna out?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
like if you wanted to call somebody. But now it's kind of like, where's the antenna?
Yeah. You know what's funny is what I was going to say when I got that cell phone. So my parents were like, don't use it unless it's an emergency, because the minutes you had to pay by the minute was super expensive,
Oh.
right? So what I did was we'd get out of school, high school, you get out like 1:30, 2 o'clock or whatever. We'd go to the Publix by my house. We'd go in and get snacks, and then we'd come out, we'd sit in the parking lot in the car, and we would dial the payphone right next to the door at Publix, and we would just and when someone would come out, the phone's ringing, they'd pick it up, hello, and we would just go, hey, listen. I go, Bobby, listen. And then he's like, this isn't Bobby. Oh, shit, my buddy Bobby. And then we just describe the next guy coming out the door. And then the guy would be like, hey, man, somebody needs to talk to you. And then people were like, what the fuck? And then they would get on the phone, and then we'd go, hey, Bobby, listen. And he was like, I'm not Bobby. Oh, hold on a second. Bobby, and then we would describe the next person coming out the door. And it would just be a musical chairs of people coming out the door and somebody going, hey, man, somebody's on the phone. They really need to talk to you bad. And people are like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you guys remember the collect call trick?
What? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
For getting free, you'd make a collect call. They'd have the number of the payphone on the payphone, and in the time where it said say your name, you just 1-877-422-32, and then like they could call you back for free on the payphone.
I did one better.
Yeah.
When I was at baseball practice and practice was over, I needed my mom to come pick me up. I'd call collect to the house, and when they go, state your name, and I go, practice is over. And
Right? Yeah. You just putting messages out at that point.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember that Super Bowl commercial with the collect call thing where they were cheap, and he was like, he called his parents because he just had a kid, and he was like, we had a baby, it's a boy.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was great. Oh man.
But no, like you had to be wasn't it great? Wasn't it a
It was
different
amazing.
time? Like,
God,
you
we
didn't
are
have
fucking
social
old.
Media.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're not. If I'm being honest, though, Gen X is the last true real. And I was thinking about this the other day. I read it. Do you realize
what
that
old people
there
say.
has not been a Gen X president yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there has not.
I mean, it's because they're all like
Do
90.
you think do you think a Gen X president would be great though?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you think he would just
No,
mess it up?
I mean, I don't know.
I think it would be great.
Yeah, it could go either way. It depends on which one you get. But you know what's funny about it is you just made me, because I've said this before to my friends. I'm like, you think about like the generation we grew up in, right? I'm like, man, nursing homes are gonna be fucking lit when we get to that age. They're like, we're gonna be playing Donkey Kong and drinking Mountain Dew all fucking day in the nursing home.
What's
This is another thing. Well, depending on the ones that got on the real hard drugs and stuff, but for the most part, I think Generation X has aged well.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, speak for yourself. I have not aged well.
Okay, well,
I'm
just
still
saying for the
aging
most
poorly.
part, like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I like get my hair cut and go baby face, shave my face and everything,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't look like I'm about to turn 44.
Well, now you're just
Right.
fucking bragging. I can shave my
Well,
face. I still look
hey,
50.
Listen, it's not giving me any ass or any like relationship or anything. So like that all went out the window since I haven't been in radio
Yeah.
Well, like-
broadcasting in a while.
Well, like Dirt was saying, you got to
you
find
know.
someone to watch football with.
Yeah. I was saying earlier in the show, I was like, because we were talking about relationships, and I was like, yeah, it wouldn't be great if you could just marry your buddy, because it's like you both want to watch football, and like I just think it would be, you get along real well, and so yeah, maybe that's the angle you need to go for.
No, I'm not going in that direction, my friend. But I mean, it would be convenient. It would be convenient. But
You
like
just haven't heard the right
you know,
sales pitch yet.
No. I mean, I've done a lot of gay things in my life, but I'm just not like ready to tie down to the gay lifestyle.
I'll say this too, Tud. That is probably a phrase that Generation X is probably the first generation that's been okay saying that.
Oh, I've done a lot of gay stuff.
I've done a lot of gay shit in my life, but yeah, honestly, I think Gen X is the first generation that's like, you're gay? Okay, cool. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're the first
Well,
generation that was been pretty much accepting of everybody.
Well, you want to know why? We just didn't care what other people were doing in their personal life. Like
Yeah.
we just couldn't be bothered with it, and then we grew up and we're like, you know what? You're gay, cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what people do in their personal lives. I really do not care as long as it does not affect me. Like
Yeah.
and when I say it, as long as it doesn't affect me, I'm not even talking about the political side of it. I don't even get into that bullshit. It's just like I just live my life, and whatever you want to do, I don't get mad about things anymore.
Yeah.
I will say it's funny, and they do get a lot of shit, and things have changed in the last 10 years or so. But the Juggalo thing, that's originally what it was. You know what I mean?
They're
It was,
the
we
nicest
just
people.
accept everybody, and as long as you're a cool dude, I'm a cool dude, you're a cool chick. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's all being a Juggalo was for like the longest time.
Huh.
They are by far the coolest group of people that follow a band. Now, can they be obnoxious at points? Yes, of course. Anybody can be, of course. But I mean, they really don't judge, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing is non-judgmental, which is really for the most part a good message,
Yeah,
overall.
I agree. I like that. And that's the thing. Just like we were, I think and just think about the '90s in general. Like growing up in the '90s, we didn't have that was when like internet was just starting, so we were going out and doing shit and fucking getting ourselves into fucking experiences and experiencing things that I don't think the younger generations now really do, because if you're online and you're in certain circles, you're only meeting people who agree with you, and like we were out and about and amongst all kinds of people with different ideas and different ways of life, and either if you wanted to be at the party, you had to be kind of cool with people,
God damn it, we are sounding so much like the fucking meme
No,
that
no,
all the
no,
old
no,
people
no,
share. It's
but
like,
I know-
my
listen,
generation was
I really
great
don't
because
care.
I played in the mud.
Yeah.
No. I'm glad that you bring that up. Like, I used to care about getting older, and now I'm kind of just like digging it. But at the same time, do you think that we were also the last generation that our parents let us learn by trial and error? What I mean by that is that, we get in our little power wheel car or big wheel. If we wanted to take it down the side of a hill, as long as there weren't cars coming, they were like, all right, let them do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, no. See, I'm gonna disagree because have you dated any of the single moms lately? they let their kids do whatever the fuck they want because
Wow.
they're busy with me.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is our parents weren't drug addict, selling their bodies for sex and all that. Well, maybe my mom back in the day. I don't know.
I was gonna say you can't say that for other people. You don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but am I right or am I wrong? Like, all right, back in the day, some of my best friends growing up, that I would consider lifelong friends, are guys, or at the time that I thought. Like, do you guys have any friends that you got into a fist fight with when you were younger that you guys became like better or became good friends with?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do.
I don't, but probably only because it was really bad for the other person. Like, I wouldn't have been friends with me after what happened to them either.
Okay, so Tuddle, let me paint the picture for you. Bushy is about what, 6'3"?
6'3",
290
290 right now.
He's a big dude. Well,
Let me
and also,
guess.
here,
That-
fun
That
fact.
guy was a minority, right?
Yeah.
No, didn't
Right?
say that.
I'm just being honest.
No, you're not. Just being honest.